Hey guys, this is Redera, or Eric Teller is my real name. And today at work, I saw on my phone someone had mentioned that there is a new public test out for Warcraft III where they replaced all of the game MPQs with cask files. I was inclined not to believe it, but I stopped doing whatever I was doing at work. I already forget what that was, and I ran home so I could check it out, because that's absolutely the natural thing to do. So I have installed now via update. I had the 1.29.2 public test, and I did an update to the 1.3 public test. And sure enough, it annihilated all of the game MPQs. So there are no longer War3X MPQ, War3 patch MPQ. All of that is gone. Now, the reason that I said I didn't really believe that when I first heard it was that to me, Warcraft 3 is a lot of things to a lot of different people. To me, the game was really fun because it was moddable. Because I could, and here, let me give you an example. All right. I'm going to run a piece of software here. Now, I was trying to make it operate on our new public test. You can see here it's logging something about public test. But basically, here's a piece of software, and I just want to give you an example of something that makes Warcraft great to me personally. Right? One of the reasons Warcraft is great is that it should be easy. I personally believe it should be easy. If you want to make a grunt-headed sheep in this game, right? I can load here a grunt, and I can load here a sheep, right? And I believe that these should be simple operations for the fans to entertain themselves. That it should take about 3 minutes if I want to make a grunt-headed sheep and put it in a custom map or a custom campaign that I want to make for the game of Warcraft 3. And that should just be easy. So here I did Control C. We're going to go back to the sheep. I'm going to paste the head here. And then you'll note I'm going to assign the head matrix to mesh 12 as the sheep head here. Obviously, I've written other software where this is easier to do, and you can find a video of me online making a grunt-headed sheep by just typing the word head and it figures it out. But in general, right, now if I go to this preview here, you can see that we have a grunt-headed sheep. It's fully animated, it's fully working, and I created this right now while I was talking to you. And I can save it as an MDX model. I could import it in the game of Warcraft 3. Now, I believe that a fundamental part of Warcraft 3 is the ability for someone to make a model like this who does not understand 3D modeling. Right? When I had that right-click assign matrix thing and I click mesh 12, that's wrong. Okay, that's more complicated than this should be. That's the community's problem. The community will make it increasingly easy for us to do. That's fine. But the way that the community does this is by loading the internal textures of the 3D models of the game through the game's MPQs. So just so you know, if I go here where it says change game directory and I change this in this software I was using and I point it to program files and I point it to Warcraft 3 public test and I tell my code that that is the game directory, it will explode because there are no MPQs, and now it's operating off of cached values from previous MPQs. But like if I try to use that function I had that would pick out the grunt, it no longer knows what a grunt is. And if I were to say, go to documents, some model I had Gromfinity, it was like Grom, from the campaign missions. Now you can see it. Maybe it's trying to load like something. I think it's part of the grunt. Maybe loaded onto Grom. It doesn't understand what's going on with these textures. At least I don't think it does. So what we're seeing here, right, is it's unable to load the character textures because the MPQs are gone. I know and I respect that it is backwards for me to suggest that Blizzard shouldn't update their design. It is their prerogative to update their design because they own the game code. But in a world where I, as a fan who develops this software we see here, um, have my software ruined, which is, it's all right for Blizzard to ruin my software, I'll probably update it. But there are other pieces of software that won't be updated. For example, many Warcraft fans for a very long time have used the War 3 model editor software. This, for example, if you open the standard footman now, the footman is solid black because I'm using the public test of the game, and this program has no concept of what the MPQs are. So in a lot of ways, this patch 1.30, I think, represents really the end of fan-based 3D modeling for Warcraft 3, unless we create a way that your average guy, he's going to come home at night, he's probably going to drink a beer, and he's going to download some character model from Warcraft like this, like maybe his footman. I don't know, maybe this is a custom footman, I don't know. But he's going to want to open it. He's going to do file open, and he's going to want to click a footman, and he's going to want to see what that custom model file looks like. And nothing Blizzard has done has ruined custom model files. They all still will work great, and you can still modify them pretty great. The problem is that you can't really see them very well because they need custom textures that fan-based software can no longer open. So I respect that it is Blizzard's prerogative to change the way the game is formatted because that's easier for them to update and whatever. But I've created this video and I've described it thus far with sort of a dark spin on it that seems like everything is going to stop working that I've ever used to mod this game. And I'm proposing that isn't actually true, and that doesn't have to be true. And that's why I'm reviewing this public test 1.30 to try to help Blizzard utilize some extra knowledge of an idea that I had that I think they could make very good use of. And this is my suggestion. They should take one of their engineers. This will probably take maybe 3 to 5 hours, some maybe 1 or 2 days of work. And what they should do is take the software that we see right here on the left-hand side of the screen, this little viewer where you see a footman, and I can view his animations, and that's pretty nice. And you can. This lighting is unnecessary. Don't bother coding in this lighting. You could honestly do, if you hit the L key, editor turns off all lighting. You could even do that, okay? Let's say you're just going to do that. But my suggestion to Blizzard Entertainment is to take this little box, this footman, and I'm going to take a screen capture here so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Is take this footman right here and this little previewer, okay? And I because Blizzard already has this code, they don't have to do much, right? Make that its own standalone program, right? And then just when we download Warcraft, just put that in here, okay? And make it called modelviewer.exe. Now you might say, oh, but then it needs an icon or something. Well, I'll tell you that War 3 model editor viewer thing, this software, that was, if you look at the help menu, it was made by this guy Magnus Ostenberg in 2008, 10 years ago. He's not going to come back and fix it. It's just ruined forever now. That's okay. It's not Blizzard's prerogative to fix it. But if they release just a super basic model viewer software, literally by just taking this little thing right out of the world editor that you see right here, and just put a little file open button up in the corner that you choose a file on your hard drive and you view that model file. I think the Warcraft community will love that update. You literally can't do it wrong, even if it crashes every third time you open it. Giving that to the community will undo what I see as the struggle that will be put upon the Warcraft 3 modding community by utilizing this. I don't know what this is, data folder idea. People call this cask on Discord. I don't know what is it, IDX. I open in Notepad. It probably is nothing. I don't know what that is. It's probably binary. We don't even care about me opening this in Notepad. Maybe that won't happen in this video. I don't know what that is, right? And I'm not I'm not about to write code that finds the footman texture in, oh, well, it's in data 0, 0. I don't know what that is, and we're not going to get the footman texture out of there because, frankly, I don't know how to do that, and I don't care. But I wrote this software here, and it's probably we'll make that work. That's the community. I mean, we'll figure this out. But I think Blizzard, because community software is going to be broken now, Blizzard should give us a model viewer, just a super basic model viewer. I think one, because it would show support for the modding community as they try to make new 3D characters and just cool new experiences for maps and campaigns in Warcraft 3. Um, and two, because it would just be really useful, and it would give the ability for fans to view their model files without requiring somebody to try to like figure out how to load. I'm not even sure it's legal to figure out how to open a cask file. I don't know what that is. The IDX. I gotta read my license agreement again. So what we need to do is get Blizzard. They should just give us this model viewer program. Very simple. Very, very simple. It can literally look like this. Blizzard already has that code. The only change is that you should make it so that it'll try to load textures from the game's internal storage. I should, whatever that's called, whatever that is. And secondarily, if that fails, then load it from the relative path within the folder of that model file. I think that would be very simple to do. I could probably even write the code for that and put it in another video if you guys need to see my code. I could show you my code, actually, it does that. It's not very cleaned up right now, so I'm not going to do that at the moment, but I could. And my code is open source, so I could link it to you if you need it. But just loading the file from first game storage, and if that fails, secondarily, relative path within the folder of the model. And if you make that change, and you take this little thing from the world editor, and you instantiate that same component as a standalone program that opens MDX model files, I think it would take you about 3 or 5 hours of work at Blizzard, and I think it would have huge community returns. Huge community returns because of what's going to happen as a result of this upgrade in patch 1.30. So I don't mean to give a negative spin on this. I hope you guys are having a lot of fun doing these updates. I know the community's having a lot of fun seeing things being updated. But I hope you take this seriously, and I hope you understand what I've attempted to show you today, because I am serious about it. And I hope you have a good day and continue to make Warcraft awesome.